What does home mean to you? How important is it for you to go to your home? Today we're talking about what it means to have a home and my eviction story. Hey Royal Family, it's Roanna Moodley on the front row. Thank you so much for joining the front row on a Monday where we talk about wisdom and life stories and how-tos and all that stuff. So today I thought it would be nice for me to share something with you. I'm going to narrate a little story to you so you know a little bit more about my life and where I've come from. And I want to share some of the lessons that I've taken out of this. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of material things growing up. We didn't come from a home that had a lot of money. We moved around to different houses. I think I moved around more than 20 times in my life span. It sounds a little too much, but I kid you not, I was counting the other day and it is literally more than 20 times, which is shocking actually. And the reason why we moved around so much is because more than often we would find that it was too expensive to live in the previous place, or we had to move because we didn't pay rent, or there was so many variables as to why we didn't move. But the common denominator was that we couldn't afford it, and then we were not able to stay there for a long period of time. And having moved around a lot, I became very used to a lifestyle of, I've sort of called myself a gypsy, someone that just moved around, had fun, and it was exciting as a kid because every 2 to 3 years you're getting a new home or you're getting a new place that, as a child, it's always exciting. But little did I know the magnitude of what that would have on me as an adult. So in 2011, something tragic happened. My family and I went through a home eviction, and I remember being at work and getting a call, and on the other side of the phone was my family, extremely frantic, trying to get me to come home to help them. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what to do. I remember feeling so shocked and distraught, and I had to take a walk outside. When I went outside, I literally dropped to the floor and felt, I think it was anxiety for the first time in my life because I couldn't breathe. Everything was like shaking. I was scared. I think I was extremely, I think the stress levels hit me for a 6. I was just not okay. And then I remember telling myself to pull myself towards myself and not get consumed by what is happening, and try and just be focused, and because I could find a solution. And then I remember going home and finding my mom and my brother in tears, and there was a sheriff and there were other police officers, and they were literally just taking stuff, throwing it into the bin packets, just throwing it. There was no order. We didn't know what was happening. I didn't know who to call. We wanted to keep our lifestyle so tight, so private, but the universe was just like laughing at us. It was a horrible time. And just to paint the picture for you, in 2011, I had a few jobs that I was working. I was teaching dancing, I had a corporate job, and I was a radio presenter. So when people looked at that from the outside, it seemed like, it's something that you don't really expect to go through. Why we went through this trauma was because it was a culmination of years and years and years and years and years of not having money, not having luxuries, not always being in debt and more debt and more debt and more debt, that it resulted in us kind of being in over our heads. And I couldn't keep up with everything that was coming at me all at once. I remember at that moment just feeling so lost. And when you're lost, who do you turn to? You turn to a higher power. You're looking for a miracle. You're looking for an answer. You're also upset at God for doing this to you, And I didn't know what to do. I was just stumped. And firstly, because I needed to find a home for our family almost immediately. I needed to find a way to keep our belongings safe. I needed to find out what the problem was so that I could remedy it. I needed to figure out what my financial situation was so that I could, handle this. And it was an enormous amount of pressure for someone so young and so unready for the real world. And it was a very, very traumatic event. We had to rely a lot on our extended family to assist us. My uncle took me in for a couple of weeks, and then we moved to my aunt's house, and they took us in for a while. And then her husband managed to find us a little basement home that we could then eventually move into. But without going into too many details, it resulted us moving a couple of times. That experience in 2011 for me was the first experience that I've had in eviction. I laugh now and I say, I'm so seasoned in it. I became so seasoned in it because when it happened the second time, I just knew exactly what to do. So there's always a way that you can take lessons out of a tragic situation, but at that time it didn't seem so funny and it didn't seem so great. And when you are so impressionable at that age and you're supposed to be living la vida loca and experimenting with your friends and going out and just enjoying being that young, I had a whole lot of other problems that I had to deal with, but also put on this game face whenever I left my home so that nobody would suspect that this was happening to me. I just felt incredibly embarrassed. But now when I look back, I just feel that there was no need for embarrassment. But I think it comes with age. Because I was younger, you're always embarrassed by everything, and for me it was happening at a rapid rate. So I learned at a very young age to keep things private. And I'm sharing the story with you now because I want you to understand how important it is to not care really about the problems of the world or what life throws at you, because life is so hard. Life can knock you out. What is important is how you come out of it, how you grow from it, how you react to the craziness that life throws at you. Because you might get through one turmoil, but next month or next year or 5 years, life is going to throw you another curveball, and how you come out of that is another lesson. But every time you come out of something, it's taking you closer to where you are needed, where you are meant to go. And there is power in that. There's power in your struggles. There's power in your story. There's power in having the ability to extract the lessons and the hope, and just knowing no matter what life throws at me, I am going to survive. I am going to go through that. So for me, now being married especially, I realized I don't really have a home that I can go to. I don't have a room that I can go and reminisce about my childhood. I don't have a place to go to, or a place that I can say, oh, that's the place that I grew up in, because we moved around so much. And I often look at my hubby, and he goes to center himself at his home, his childhood home, and I don't have that. And for a small period, I felt saddened by that. I felt robbed of that. I was a little upset with the universe because I was robbed of that. But now I realize that it doesn't matter where I actually physically go to. What matters is who I am with. And when I am with my family, that is my home. When we're narrating anecdotes of our childhood, that is my memory. When we are laughing and joking, those are my roots. And yes, I might not have a physical place that I can say this is where I did X, Y, and Z. I have the love of my family that I call home. So there's truth in the saying, your home is where the heart is. There's so much power in that saying, because it doesn't matter where you are. You can make your house a home just by being together as a family and just remembering the wonderful glories of what you have and the strengths and the capabilities that you have and all the things that you have the power to go through together. For me, I think it was very important for me to understand that and to recognize that, and it made a tremendous difference in me really changing my attitude. I think I held a little bit of animosity towards my parents because I was like, why didn't you do anything? But they did the best that they could. They did what they knew was the best for our situation at the time. And if they hadn't done everything exactly the way that they did, I wouldn't be a headstrong woman who is driven, who is hungry for always doing the best and getting the best. And that personality and that drive that I have is only because of what has transpired through the years growing up. Like, I think if it was the other way around, I don't think I would have been the person that I am today. And it's just taking those life experiences and knowing no matter what curveball I'm going to be given, I'm going to get through this, and it's going to be something sensational, and the lessons that I'm going to take from this is going to be phenomenal, and the movement for me is going to be in abundance, and I'm just going to attract everything that is glorious and beautiful for me because I am able, I am capable, I am here. The mere fact that out of 10,000 cells you were born, you were chosen to be born and to live and to wake up every day and to breathe, that in itself is a miracle, and that in itself shows that there is purpose in your existence. And it gives me so much peace knowing that with all the turmoil that I've gone through, there was a central being that was looking after me, that was showing me the way. And for me, I call that God. You can call that whatever you want to call it, but there is someone watching. Just when you think nobody cares, someone does. And if you just have faith in your God or in your spiritual center, you will take your life to the next level. It's just a matter of time. So me being evicted really catapulted my life into recognizing the fact that come what may, I have the ability to get through this. I have the ability to come out of it, and I will still remain great and abundant. I'm still centered, and things can be going crazy around me, but I am centered, and for that I am grateful for, and for that I am learning every day, and I want to be a better human. Every day is a new chance for us to be better and to know better and to do better. I thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I want you to remember that it doesn't matter where you are. Home is where your heart is, and those that are special to you matter. You matter, and everything that you deserve will come to pass. You are royal, you are great, and you are destined for abundant gifts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if there's anything you'd like to talk about or chat about, please comment below and let me know. I'd be happy to chat about it. And I post videos every Monday and every Thursday, and so I guess I'll see you on the next video. Keep it royal.